Yep. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Right there. Good morning. I didn't get the little sound effect that I wanted. Good morning, everybody. Turn that down. We back again. Remember the name? You know I'm gonna be on you with the name thing, cause if you don't remember the name, you can't place the vote. You're gonna end up voting for one of them losing candidates, one of them 49 losing candidates, and that's a waste of a vote. And we can't have that in these days. It's crunch time. It's too much at stake. So I got to make sure you remember the name. There we go, right there. Aaron Benjamin Miles. Aaron Benjamin Miles. You got to remember the name. You got to remember the name, because the name, that's what you're looking for in the ballot when it's time to vote, is the name. I don't think they're going to have my picture on there, so you can't go by that. You got to remember the name. Aaron Benjamin, Aaron Benjamin Miles, Aaron, Aaron Benjamin Miles, 110th mayor of NYC. This is my docuseries, Before Becoming Mayor of NYC, soon to be on video on demand, Amazon Prime, video on demand, Amazon Prime, Before Becoming Mayor of NYC, Aaron Benjamin Miles. Aaron, it's the Rise of the Good People campaign. That's you and me. That's us. We together. Rise of the good people. We rising. You feel it. I know you feel it. I know you seeing it all over the news and all of the things that are happening. The world is different. And I'm coming to do my part, Aaron Benjamin Miles, 110th mayor of New York City, Rise of the Good People. And this is my docuseries, Before Becoming Mayor of NYC. So let me get into it, my people, good people. Like I told you before, the good people, you're so beautiful, but you're an endangered species. So we have to do our best to protect all of the good people, because, the good people are an endangered species and they're always under attack by the bad people, because they look at the good people as such of a threat, because, God has put so much favor on the good people. But he's saying you got to do your part now. He's saying you got to do the work. He got all these blessings for us, but we got to do the work, right? So I'm going to take a second to give praise to the Most High. And then I want to take another moment to give recognition to all of our ancestors, without whose protection, guidance, and wisdom we would not be here. So let's give a moment of silence, of recognition to all of our ancestors, without whose guidance, protection, and wisdom we would not be here. Inshallah. Amen. Ra. So what I'm going to talk about today, I ain't have a prepared topic really. So I'm going to talk about whatever my brain is inspired to just talk about and just let it flow. And today I'm kind of going to touch on our poor brothers and sisters, our poor white brothers and sisters. They are brothers and sisters too. These white domestic terrorists, these white supremacists, and you keep it real and you really all the way enlightened, you will realize this is a sibling rivalry. And they're our brothers and sisters too. They're just lost. And one of the problems with these white or these advocates of the white agenda is they don't understand the direction time is taking us in. They spend so much time trying to exclude all of the rest of us from their history and their tradition and their culture. That's what they're doing. They're putting all of this effort to exclude. They want this exclusivity. They want to be exclusive to their history. They want to be exclusive to their culture. They want to be exclusive to their traditions, so much so that they don't want us to be a part of it at all. And as you see, as a result of that, they're always reaching back into the past. They're always pulling out facts from the past dates. If they can have it their way, they would reach back in time to slavery, where they were the masters and everyone else were their servants, right? Just pay attention. Every time they quote something, they try to reach back as far as they could go, because the further back they reach to them, the better the results they come up with. But we're in America. Specifically, we're in New York City. New York City is really different from everywhere else. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Why our lost brothers and sisters, why our lost white brothers and sisters are working so hard to maintain exclusivity and to exclude the rest of us from their culture and exclude the rest of us from their traditions and to exclude everyone, the rest of us, from their history. They fail to realize that they're doing such an effective job in excluding themselves from the future. If you're listening to me right now, my poor lost white brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you what you're doing with your efforts. While you're making such a strong effort to exclude the rest of us from your traditions and your culture and your history, you're actually only being very effective in excluding yourself from the future, because the future is not about exclusivity. The future is about inclusion. See, it's a collective future. And only those of us who are a product of a collective and diverse upbringing. We have a very diverse family. We embrace all of our, the diversity of our brothers and sisters. And that is the future. The future doesn't hold in its grasp this exclusivity that you try so hard to maintain. And so as you isolate yourself into a little corner to try to exclude the rest of us from your traditions and your culture and your history, you're only being effective at excluding yourself from the future. Because New York City, the tradition, just think of this, what I'm about to say. The tradition of New York City has always been the future. New York City is the only place in the world whose tradition doesn't reach back into a past to try to define itself. New York City defines itself on evolution. New York City defines itself on progression. New York City defines itself on evolution, progression. The tradition of New York City is the future, baby. It's not the past. All of the other places in the world, you go to Italy, China, Russia, Germany, Africa, Haiti, all of the traditional places, they all ground themselves in the tradition and the history of their past. That's the tradition of these places. It's their history. It's the past, and you're subject to that. You're. It seems like you're kind of being subject to this mentality. But New York City is the only place where that doesn't apply. The tradition of New York City is the future. We're always evolving. We're the most progressive place in the world. That's why everyone looks to us to know what to do next. What's going to be next? How are things going to turn out tomorrow? They look to New York City for that. So you're actually in contradiction to the whole theme and the concept and the tradition of New York City. If you want to maintain and hold on to the tradition of your past, each one of you who really would like to do that, there's a place of origin for you to go to do that. All of you are from somewhere. Europe, Italy, Ireland, whatever nationality you are. Whatever nationality you are, and you want to embrace and hold on to the tradition of your history and your past, there is a place for you to go where that's what they're all about. But it's not New York City. Right here in New York City, we're all about the future. And we're not about exclusivity. We're not about excluding people. New York City have always been about including people, allowing those to have a place to come to feel a part of, to feel one with. You're in the wrong place, baby. And that's what's wrong with all of these politicians that's in power right now, because all of these politicians, and they're usually old, and if they're not old, they're usually some young people that spent all their time around these old people who were conditioned and trained by these old people to embrace and hold on to the tradition of the past. And that's why you're so confused right now, because you're up there and you're trying to just keep it amongst yourself, all the power, all the resources, all the information. You want to have all this confidentiality so you can have the privacy to manipulate things in your favor so that you can continue to exclude everyone else. That's not what New York City is about. Come on, my brothers and sisters. And I'm talking to you, my white brothers and sisters, the lost ones, the ones who want to be so full of hate and anger because so many other people coming here. Where all these people coming from? Trump wanted to block the borders. Why? We don't have no more space over here. Why are they coming here? Why they want to come to our house? This is not your house. Your house is over there in Germany, I think. Trump, I think, is German. Your house is over there, and if you want to hold on to these traditions of the past, you want to take your butt on over there. See, a lot of them don't want to go back home because they're not even welcome there. The way you got over here in the first place, because the place where you're from didn't want you. They looked at you as the reject, as the dysfunctional ones. You were the bottom feeders. You were the trash in the place where you're from. That's why you ended up in America, or your ancestors ended up in America. They were the ones who, in your original home, in your original home where you're from, they didn't want you. They were like, you're not on our level. You're a bum. You're in the way. How can we get rid of these ones? These are the weak links. Let's get them out of here. And they put you on ships and you found America, the place of inclusion, the place of acceptance, the place of diversity, the place where instead of having to focus on the past and the history that didn't want you, you were able to focus on the future, of a bright future, of how things could be different. That's what New York City and America is all about. But I ain't going to talk about America because I'm running for mayor of NYC, and NYC is the nucleus of the world, let alone America. We the nucleus. They all look to us. That's why we have a community from every nationality here, because we're showing them what the future of that nationality is going to be. The future of Asians, the future of Puerto Ricans, the future of Italians, the future of the Irish, the future of, that's what New York is supposed to be. That's what New York is. That's why I want to do all of this building. I call it habitats, because I want to build communities of these different nationalities and traditions, but not based on the past. They got that in the origin in the country where they came from. They know all about their past. We want to show them what the future holds for these groups, what the future looks like for Italians, what the future looks like for the Jews, what the future looks like for the Irish and the Polish, what the future looks like for the Africans. New York City, like Noah's Ark, we got everybody over here. The reason why they all over here is because God said this is the place where we're going to construct the future for every group to show you what your future looks like. Right? And that's what it is. So you got to even pick, right? If you want to stay on that exclusivity thing, that's cool. That's personal choice, but you got to get out of here with that. You got to go back home. You're in the way. I'm exposing everything. I'm disclosing everything so we can have a clear path, because we got to, we got work to do. We got to trailblaze this future thing. We trailblazers for the future. Everybody watching, everybody waiting to see what the future has in store. We have to put that together. That's our job. It's our purpose, right? So that's my take on that right there, man. You want to be exclusive? You want to keep all your history and your traditions and your culture all to yourself, and you don't want to share none of your ideas and all of this? Go back home. That's where they doing that at. And it's changing over there too, because everybody looking at America in New York City and seeing, their method seems to be working better. We should kind of copy what they doing. I think we need to adapt their technique. Whatever they doing over there, it seems better. I want to do what they doing. Matter of fact, I want to go over there. That's why so many people want to come here, Trump. You know what I mean? You don't need them walls. You don't need all of that stuff. All we need to do is really show them how much love we got, how much better we can make your life. If you can find your way over here, you won't have nobody trying to come over here to blow up nothing, to hurt nothing. They'll be trying to come over here for the good life, man. You don't want to hurt something that could benefit you. Otherwise, we'd be blowing up all the food and water. You find food and water, you try to protect it and you know, store it and protect it, right? Because, you know, that's good for you. Ain't nobody running around trying to destroy food and water, right? Anything good for you ain't going to be having this negative relationship with it. So, you know, y'all better give it the program, man. I'm telling you what it is. Aaron Benjamin Miles. Aaron, independent candidate. Yo, I need them 75, 100 signatures. I need 1,000 contributions. You could contribute $1. Yo, just go to my website, www.riseofthegoodpeople.org, O-R-G, and make a contribution, man, so I could get these matching funds from the Campaign Finance Board. They give me $8 for each $1 you give me. But for me to get it, I got to get 1,000 people to make a contribution, and I got to raise a certain amount of money. I forgot how much it was, but I ain't even focus on that. You know what I mean? Because I know what's going to happen. But I'm trying to let y'all learn as I'm learning. Yeah, $8, yo, that's crazy, right? Get $8 for $1. Y'all I want to cake up on that, yo. Especially right now since I'm not working, because you know your boy got terminated. Yo, New York City Human Resource Administration, courtesy of Stephen Banks, they terminated your boy for not. Because we was going back and forth, you know what I mean? They're not used to that. They used to people just being submissive and, okay. After they violate you, you just be on some, okay. Nah, I ain't with that. Ain't no tame Negro or some scared Negro. I'm a savage. I'm the intelligent savage. You come at me across a certain line, I'm going to be like, yo, what you doing? Yo, who you talking to? You know who you talking to? You about to put yourself in a bad situation, my friend. Don't confuse the glasses and the bow tie. You know what I'm saying? I know it works good. I did that on purpose to make people comfortable, but yeah, I'm a real savage from the streets. I not the one. But yeah, they terminated your boy. So this is what I'm gonna say on that note. New York has a lot of resources for people in this kind of situation. And I want to show you what it is. You got to put together a plan. See, a lot of people, they get terminated and they go into this state of depression and shock. And they just stop functioning. You can't do that. Because that's one of their strategies about that worry you to death. That's a big dose of worry to death. Most people, they get halfway to death at least right there. Boom. They be ready to die. They be suicidal or ready to do something that's so outrageous that it'll get them killed. Can't do that. Got to keep your head. Then you got to put together a plan. This is my plan. First of all, I'm going to apply for that unemployment monies the next Monday, because, you know, they terminated me on Friday. That following Monday, I was already applying for my unemployment, right? But I ain't stopped right there. Nope. I work for Human Resource Administration, so I know all the resources they got. I went right over there, put in my application for my SNAP. That's food stamps. Don't be proud. Being too proud gonna make you put you in a vice grip. Sometimes being too proud keeps you from asking for what you need. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes being too proud keep you from asking for what you need. Get what you need so you can get back up on your feet and then progress back to where you're supposed to be in life, right? So I went over there and I applied for my SNAP. I want my food stamps because I'd rather use food stamps to buy my food. Well, I'm going to use my cash for my unemployment. Then I got back rent. I got utility bills that's not paid. I got bills that kind of piled up on me. You know, this coronavirus, economy collapse. Don't front. Most of y'all got the same thing. You go on, you got a lot of this back rent and you don't know how you're going to pay for it, go down to the HRA, or you could do it online, and you apply for a one-shot deal. They'll pay your back rent. Don't worry about how much it is. They go and pay it. This is the government subsidization where this is a redistribution of wealth through the government. They only ones got money they the only ones spending money. But again, this is another way for them to establish a redistribution of wealth. And if you don't go and ask because you're too proud, you're going to miss out on this new redistribution of wealth. See, I went down, applied for my SNAP, put in my application for that one-shot deal, get this rent paid up. They got HEAP. It's a program called HEAP, Heat and Energy something program. But it's all about your utilities. You go down there, you apply for HEAP, they're going to pay those utility bills. And now, especially since your mayor, your future mayor, is on these same programs, you know they're going to have to get these programs up to par. The service better be right. Because I'm in there, even though once I get, I'm probably ain't going to need it that long, because once I really start doing my fundraising, you know, I probably won't even need them. But anyway, I grew up on these programs, so I'm all up in their business. All of these programs are about to be restructured and reorganized. So they're going to really have good customer service. The resources are going to be abundant and plentiful, and they're going to be available to any New York City resident that needs them. I'm going to make sure of that. Me, your boy, Aaron Benjamin Miles. That's right. I'm fixing all of these programs, and I'm addressing all of the agency abuse of authority. All these workers that's in there, from the top down. Stephen Banks is out of there. He's not going to be the commissioner anymore when I get in my new office in Gracie Mansion. He's going to be fired. I'm replacing him with someone that I think would do a better job because he's a weak dude. He's weak. I've seen him. First time I seen him, I said, this is weak. This guy is weak. Why is everybody acting so nervous when he comes around? I remember he came in my cubicle one day. I hardly didn't even get up for him. I was like, yo, why you in my cubicle? And everybody looking at me crazy like, yo, why you ain't standing up? That's the commissioner. I'm looking at them like, so? This nigga in my cubicle though. But anyway, since they was all staring at me looking crazy like I was doing something wrong, I turned around and got up. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, all right. Have a nice day. Yeah, beat it. Right? But he's out of there in a minute. And it got to start from the top. It got to be respect, compassion, love for the job, love for your brother and sister New Yorkers. And that trickles down the chain of command. I'm fixing that. It's starting with me as the mayor. I'm going to be the person to set the example, right? I'm going to be the top dude in New York City. So I'm going to make everybody understand this is how I do. I'm going to respect you. I'm going to give you this and that and this and that. I'm going to give you love. You know, if you got some spots where you ain't correct, I'm going to try to give you a minute to correct it. I'm going to try to show you the way. But if that's just your nature and you just messed up by nature, you out of there. Get out of here, man. We're not having you in here setting a bad example. Not serving the people properly. Got mothers and grandmothers crying, going home crying with all that worry to death in them. That's a wrap. Ain't no more of that. New York is focused 100% on the future when I get in my new office. We focus on our new tradition of the future. I'm building like I was Robert Moses. I'm going to be building new communities. Community development is going down. A lot of jobs coming out of that right there. We building new communities. A lot of homelessness is going to be addressed right there. I got the plan, yo. I'm going to leave it at that, yo. It's your boy, Aaron Benjamin Miles. Aaron Benjamin Miles. Rise of the good people. We rising. Good people, we rising. Y'all better, let me get a smile. Let me get a smile. Let me see you smile. Let me see you smile. Yeah. Before becoming Mayor of NYC, that's my that's my docu-series. It's going to be coming video on demand on Amazon Prime soon. I'm going to be documenting everything when I go out doing my campaign, when I'm in here doing my campaign, when I'm eating lunch and breakfast, when I'm feeding my birds, when I feed my mouse downstairs. I'm putting all that in my video on demand documentary, docu-series before becoming mayor of NYC. And I just want you to remember the name, because you're going to need the name when it's time to vote. Aaron Benjamin Miles. Rise of the good people. New York City savages. We political now. When we come, we coming.